Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Extreme Improv chat show. On today's show there will be myself, David Pustansky, and I am joined by not one but two guests from Extreme Improv regular pool of performers. We have Ellie Gill. Say hello, Ellie.
Hello.
And we have Samuel O'George.
Hello.
How are you both doing?
Yeah, all good, all good. Enjoying the lockdown. It's a party in my house every day. Whoop,
Is it?
whoop. No,
In what sense is it a party in your house every day, Sam?
Well, it's the same as most parties. There's no one talking to me, and I'm getting drunk.
Do you know what, Sam? I'll be honest, I feel like that was a scripted joke, and because I didn't know what it was, but I feel like I just gave you the perfect question to follow it up, to set up your punchline.
I know.
Yeah.
It genuinely wasn't. It was a completely improvised, off the cuff, I promise.
Well, that's naturally witty as Sam O'George.
You know.
Yeah, there we go. How are you enjoying lockdown, Ellie?
I don't have a witty response. I'm feeling so much pressure. And I also
follow that.
I realise I should pull my top up because if I put it down, like I'm sat here going, yeah, no, it's great, guys. I just sit in the nude all the time. So naked.
Oh, dear.
Oh, no, I am wearing this. It's like, I don't know. That's all I say about it. I went out for the first time today in 10 days, though. I haven't been outside the house in 10 days till today.
Just for exercise, shopping, what were you up to?
No, I just went to go and see my car because I've parked it in a really secluded, semi-dodgy car park. So I thought I'd go and see if it was it still had wheels and glass basically, and it does. So that was a bonus.
Always a bonus.
Yeah, always a bonus when you know you've still got a car. But yeah, I just don't really feel the need of going out for the sake of it to walk around nowhere. So I just don't really go.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? How are you finding it?
Yeah, I'm finding it okay. Like I think just before we started recording, I was mentioning that my sleep's really weird. I was up late watching a Bill Murray movie at 3 a.m, which I'd never seen before. And the thing which I found interesting with that is, for me, it was like a brand new Bill Murray film, but where he's 40 years younger. So that was exciting. So other than that, I need to do a little bit more exercise. I'm sometimes getting out of breath walking upstairs, so not good.
Joe Wicks is good. It's like my level, to be on the school P level. I can't.
So for anyone listening, watching who may not know who Joe Wicks is, which includes me, what are you talking about?
So he does all this fitness body coaching, which I didn't really know who he was, and I just knew that he did these arseholy fitnessy videos for the middle class before now. And then when lockdown started, he started doing this PE lesson for kids every morning from 9 till 9:30 for free, live streamed on YouTube every morning, Monday to Friday. And it became this whole global thing, oh my God, this guy's doing this amazing thing. So I started doing it. And it's meant to be for the under 12s, but I am bloody challenged. My God, peel me off the floor when I'm done. It's so hard.
Wow.
And he does dress up Friday as well, so you can go on Friday. I'm making it sound like you attend something. Well, go to your living room on Friday and virtually attend Joe Wicks' session dressed up as anything you like. Is
there a way for other people to see, or are you just doing this dressing up for your own?
Just doing this for your own pleasure.
Yeah. Awesome. Sam, how about you? Have you been doing anything to keep fit and healthy?
Yeah, I've started running in the mornings. And
why?
Just because it's something to do, isn't it? It's a chance to get outside, get some fresh air. And although I live in London, so it's not particularly fresh, but it's fresher than it was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I stupidly accepted a challenge from someone I know today to be able to run 10K by the end of December.
Wow.
Oh.
At the moment, I can run 2, so I've got a challenge.
I can't run.
I was going to say, this could be, I can't run for the life of me, but this is an interesting thing that could come out of this whole coronavirus business. So I'm sure anyone's gathered now, if they're watching, listening, and it is in the future, that this is about a month into whole lockdown situation.
Oh, I know exactly.
Yeah.
We're on day 40 of lockdown.
Oh, wow, day 40, amazing.
Yeah. 41's tomorrow.
Okay. But what I was going to say is that there's going to be people who are just going to get into like ridiculous shape, who well, because of work, because of this, because of that, other commitments going out, that people just wouldn't really be focusing on it. But now it's all that, one, we have time, and two, it's all we really can focus on.
I feel like it's going one of two ways. You've got the people that are like, oh, this is the best time for me to get these abs that I've always wanted. And then you've got the people who are like, it's the best time for me to eat all the cake that I can find.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a load of people that are just morbidly obese and a load of people that have just got like muscles coming out of their assholes. It's going to be so weird.
Oh, I thought I had a problem because there was one coming out of there. Turns out it's a good thing. Oh, good.
Yeah, it's a new thing. It's like, forget the thigh gap or whatever. It's all about muscles from your assholes.
Yeah. I don't know which side I lean on currently. If I might end up where I've been trying to do a little bit of exercise. I've been doing some crunches here and there, you know, somewhere not that I can quite reach now, but like I've got some weights that I've lifted, but just nowhere near enough. And so, like I said, I've genuinely had that. I've walked upstairs and been out of breath. So
yeah, I'm not surprised.
Why? Right.
That's one way of insulting people, isn't it, Ellie?
Well, yeah.
I'm going to get attention of how I feel about myself, so just let's not talk about that.
Okay, so what else have you guys been doing to keep occupied during this? Like, we don't really, anyone listening, we don't really have a subject of conversation on today's show, but we'll find something.
This might be rubbish. Anyway, Sam?
So I've made a couple of YouTube videos where I have posed as someone with a different name, and then I've sort of tried irritating a couple of companies. So one of them was an entertainment company that sort of employ performers to go abroad. And
can you name them?
No, because I can't remember. But basically, I can't even remember the person I was talking to, because what I did in the videos, because I had this weird moment where I was overthinking, and I was like, oh, I can't mention anyone's names. I can't mention any company names. So then anyone who like could get upset about it, they can't, because no one knows I'm talking to them. So I've completely forgotten everything about the company. I just know that a friend of mine has worked for the company, and they don't really treat their staff all that well. So I decided to wind them up a little bit just to waste their time. It went on a lot longer than it should have done. It was great. I applied for a belly dancing role. And it carried on and on. I think it was, so I'll give you like a little brief rundown. So I don't want to
belly dance. You're going to give us a brief belly dance?
Yes. No, tell us your audition, please. That was very brief.
I'm hoping this is just an audio podcast, because otherwise.
Well, do you know what? It can be, or I can edit any stuff out, guys. I can edit stuff out.
Okay, all of it.
But yeah, so I'll get like a brief rundown, so then you can still watch the video and not be surprised by and be surprised by some things. But yeah, I emailed them, and I put in some things like, oh, I've never really done any belly dancing, but I did once do a striptease that was described as a wobbling delight, which I think would fit very well for belly dancing. And then I sort of just expect them to read it and then go, oh, what a joker. But then they sent me an email back saying they'd be interested in me like sending my CV and some headshots, so then I could get the job.
That's amazing.
Please tell me you did some like crazy headshots with like loads of like bits of beads hanging off and like in
I'm
a crop
quite upset
top.
that you've not already seen the video, Ellie, to be
I
honest.
haven't. I'm so sorry.
Have I seen this one, Sam? I've seen one or two of yours.
Yeah, I think you shared this one. This was the first one that I did.
Yeah, okay. So I have
very
seen
memorable.
Yeah. And then what was the second one you did with? Something makes me think it was maths or numbers. Oh, I remember what it was. I remember
that was my brain teaser. Yeah, where I came.
Oh, I saw that.
Okay, that's good. So that one basically, my boss at work decided to give us a brain teaser, and I came up with the answer that is in the video that I made, and it was wrong, and I was adamant that I was right. So I kept telling everyone at work that I was right, and I was not having any of it. So then in the end, I just made an equation that ended up with my answer. So then I had to be right.
Well, there you go.
And then the next one that I did was I came up with a new flavour of ice cream.
Oh, I haven't seen this one.
So this one is arguably, I would say, the better of the two videos that I've done sending emails to people. But this one, so you know you've got mint choc chip ice cream.
Yeah. Good flavour.
Very good flavour, but I find too much mint, not enough chocolate.
Yeah, fair.
So I came up with choc mint chip ice cream.
Yeah.
So then I sent it to a few companies. 2 separate companies sent me exactly the same email back from exactly the same person.
That's weird.
So then I had a go at them. Someone else then emailed me, and then they were like one of these customer service people who just kind of like went, "Oh, I know this isn't very helpful, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what you could do." And I was like, "Well, your customer service has left a lot to the imagination. I would like someone senior to talk to me, ideally Mr. Wall himself, but he invented the company in like the late 1700s. So I understand that's probably not going to be feasible. So any old manager will do." So then someone else sent me an email, and they said that my idea had been passed on, and they were going to they would possibly consider it for like future development. And I'll be honest, I didn't really like that word possibly.
Yeah.
Nice.
So what I did, they said to me, if you want to get in touch again, feel free to email. If you prefer to have a chat with someone over the phone, here's the number. So I phoned him up.
Yes.
I phoned him up, and I had this whole call. For some reason, I put on an accent. I don't know why.
What accent?
It was just like proper knockoff Del Boy. I was like, "Yeah, all right, yeah, my name's Jacob Debs, and I've been emailing one of your colleagues." I wrote a jingle which I performed for the lady on the phone.
Can you perform it now? A segment or?
My keyboard's not set up, but I could probably.
You play the keyboard?
No.
Oh. I was just gonna say, like, we've needed like a musical accompaniment for our show for like a year, and then you just suddenly it's like, yeah, I'm a maestro.
He was like, yeah, my keyboard's not set up and I'm not warm.
Yeah, no, not exactly. No, I can play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and that is about it.
I can play that as well.
Very good.
I probably could, but I haven't tried.
I play a fancy version of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, where I do da 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 da, or something like this at the end, rather than Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the sky, say hi, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle Twinkle, it's you are. Da 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 da. And basically, when I could do that as a child, I thought I was very good.
You are the new Mozart.
I know.
I just hope someone's like skipped to that bit of the recording and just had you sing Twinkle Twinkle
Just
Little Star.
David's minor breakdown.
Yeah, exactly.
Is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star the same tune as the alphabet?
Yeah. So what I did.
Twinkle Twinkle.
So what I did when I used to work in holiday parks, I did a comedy show, which is the reason that I bought the keyboard in the first place, was for one joke. So I spent like 300 quid on one joke.
Oh, it's a fancy one.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, Ellie. I've done a little bit of comedy in the past.
Oh, I don't think anyone knows it.
I'm a part of this improvised comedy group called Extreme Improv. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Nah.
But yeah, so what I did, I was like, okay, so we're going to play a game of guess the tune now. So once you think you know it, just shout it out. So it goes da 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 da, and then they shout Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and I go, no, that one was the alphabet. Oh, unlucky. Never mind. You can try the second time. The second one goes like this. Da, 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 da,
and then the alphabet, right?
They were like, that one's Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Oh, right.
No. That one's Bar Bar Black Sheep. Bar Bar Black Sheep, have you any wool? Yes,
wow.
Yes,
no,
3
that's
bags.
mind-blowing.
So then I'd go, right, okay, no worries. Third time's a charm. Here we go. Da, 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 da. And then inevitably at this point, someone would shout out, that one's the alphabet. And I go, no. The alphabet sounds like this. Da, 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 da. Whereas the one I'm doing now sounds like this. Da, 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 da. And then they go, oh, it's Twinkle Twinkle Little Star then. I'd be like, well, it's not going to be anything by Def Leppard, is it? Come on now.
I love that you have like perfect pitch so that we can tell the slight difference.
That's really tickled me.
Yeah, that's great. That's amazing. That's a really good concept.
So was your jingle to the lady on the phone to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or the alphabet song or...
So if you want, you two can have a little chat for a while and I can set up my keyboard and then I can do it properly, or I can do a little a cappella version just now.
Do it a cappella, Sam. Don't keep people.
He doesn't want to talk to me, so quickly do a cappella.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. So, I threw the lyrics away as well, so I have to try and remember it from the top of my head.
Improvise, that thing that we do.
Not well though. So it goes, what do you need when times are hard? When happiness isn't on the cards? You need something that tastes like a dream. You need choc mint chip ice cream. And then I'd play there was a little jingle there that I'd be like, so here's a top tip. If you want to flip and you need to get a grip because your shoulder's got a chip after a nip slip, get yourself some choc mint chip.
Oh
Love
my
it.
God.
Well done, Sam.
It's so good.
Thank you.
Like it.
Annoyingly,
so
they've not got
bored.
back to me.
They've not got back to you.
Nope.
You need to
Wow.
publish this song. You know, that's what.
Yeah.
Like you did for your David 19.
Yeah, I tell you what, I've got like more songs in the progress. Like
Ooh.
this is the thing where you can, like, COVID-19 is an opportunity where it's like, what is the things on your bucket list? Where it's like, oh, okay, I always wanted to do this. So I'm writing a book currently as well.
Oh.
So like I'm gonna have a book published. I'm gonna release a song this year.
It's going to be great.
Well, no, see, this is the thing. Like
For
with
2021.
with all these things I've done, it's like, this is going to be the one, that's going to make the difference. And it's like, this song is, it's relevant, and I got it out quite quickly at the start of this thing. And yeah, it's had, like, you can actually download it as a song, and people have been streaming it on Spotify and stuff like this. But
And also,
yeah.
you've got the GIF that's like semi-famous now. It comes up, if you go on Giphy and you type in, what was it you type in? What's the GIF you made? What's the quote?
There's loads of GIFs.
The one that
wash your hands or something.
No, the one that was posted yesterday in the chat that someone had found on Facebook.
I can't remember. I'll have to check.
But you type it in, and it's like one of the most used ones on Giphy.
Wow.
Like
Actually?
right in the top row. Yes, it was in the top row yesterday.
That's amazing.
I know.
I need to check what this is.
I think it's all about me.
Yes.
And then it's a picture of you, me, and Angus on stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Comedy Club.
How about that? That's very cool. No, the GIFs have done well. I've made about 100 GIFs in the last few months, and
I've not seen them,
Oh well, yeah. You have to just put in like the right terms for them to come up. But
I send them to Tinder matches.
The what?
I send them to Tinder matches.
Oh, that's a great idea.
But I tell you what, like the most popular 2 GIFs I've made is one of my dog asleep, and it says "night night" on it, and that's been shared. It's been shared over 1 million times. What's that one? Oh wow!
There's all of
night
them.
night. Yeah. And the other most popular one is when I was in France a couple of years ago, and there was like a mother cow and a calf suckling from it, and as I was just filming this, the calf just turned round and looked at the camera, and because it was quite a large calf, it was like almost adult size, but as it turned around, I just put the caption, "What do you mean it's a bull?" And that's been shared over 1 million times.
Is it that one?
Yeah, what do you mean it's a bull? So it's like a baby calf, not even a baby, quite a big one, just
That's really
drinking.
good.
Yeah. And yeah, that's tickled people, but
Yeah, there's a few good ones on there of us. Like there's quite a few from the Camden Comedy Club when we've been doing shows.
yeah,
I
need to make more. I need to make more, really.
There's the one of you, me, and Claire wiping windows.
That one, yeah, I think that's quite a popular one.
I love that one.
And okay, what was the thing that was said? And
you wipe it, and you wipe it, and you wipe it, and you wipe it, and you
wipe it. Oh yeah, I forgot the accent was on it as well. And
Yeah,
you wipe it.
Because Claire's from the Midlands.
Yeah.
All right, don't do the Midlands.
Are you from the Midlands?
Yes.
Oh, you don't sound it.
No.
Where in the Midlands are you from?
I'm from Leamington Spa.
Oh, right. So you're from the posh part of the Midlands, aren't you? The wannabe Londoners.
Oh yeah, but I can do the accent if it's there. It's right there in there.
What is the accent?
How's it going? I'm from Leamington Spa.
Oh, so it's basically Birmingham-ish.
No, but
Birmingham.
depends. No, it's more like Coventry, which is just a bit sort of a hybrid between my voice and Birmingham. But then I find Birmingham and Black Country way more fun to actually perform, as Sam just demonstrated there.
I do enjoy doing those ones.
Can I like divert back to your belly dancing story, please? Because
God.
we made a little divulge, and I just want to see whether you're signing a contract to go abroad once this is all over.
No, so basically what happened was I sent them a CV where it had like my performing credits were all school plays. The first one was Phantom in Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, that's good. At least you went left toe on the right or whatever.
Oh, exactly. You know, first school play went straight in as Phantom. You know, that's
Wow.
impressive.
We're on to a winner.
Did a few other ones like Bishop of Dean in Les Mis, and then the last one he was in Mary Poppins and he played Dick Van Dyke.
Hang on, did you actually do this, or you made these all up?
Oh, I made all this up.
Oh, okay. Very impressed for a moment there, Sam.
Okay, so if you made that up, just as a quick segue, what was like your first school play? What was your first role ever, both of you?
Ooh, ever?
I can't remember ever. I know that in year 6, I played a very scared turkey in a version of The Ugly Duckling because it was coming up to Thanksgiving.
Wow.
So I was really scared I was going to be eaten. And part of one of the numbers where I was introduced, I came on, I was like really, really scared. And then from behind me, I pulled out a box of stuffing.
Ah, I like it.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, we get it.
From your ass, but you're not your ass, you know.
The first thing, did you never do a nativity play?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I played a shepherd, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, me too. I was a shepherd. Yeah.
I was a woman as well. I was a shepherd.
Oh,
a shepherdess.
So I played a shepherd, and then another time I played a narrator. And the year that I played a narrator, we had this like animated story going on the big screen behind us. And so I got like a week off school because me and a few other friends were given the task of actually making this animated video.
Wait, do you do animation, Sam?
No, not at all. It was like some program that they had. They got the rest of the year to do all like that. So it was an A3 bit of paper where someone would draw the landscape on it, and then other people would draw the people, and then we would basically just tell the story using all of the bits, and it'd be like click, move it, click, move it, click, move it, click, move it. And that took us like a week because we were 10. So
wow, very cool. I can't wait to find out the next skill where it's like, oh, I play the keyboard. Wait, you play the keyboard? You're like, no. Wait, you do animation? You're like, no.
Maybe we should just call this Sam's bullshitting podcast.
Yeah. Joe, it's funny though, Sam. What you've mentioned about like doing where you've contacted these companies. Years and years ago, there was a book which was similar. I think it like predates the internet, but it was called The Time Waster Letters. And I almost feel like this was like your Bible that you haven't yet discovered, because it was where people would write letters to companies and just see what the response that would come back would be, similar to what you said. But yeah, I think that's something that's just popped into my mind. The closest I've had to this is last year I went to, where did I go to? To Florida. And I went to Kennedy Space Center and I was quite inspired by it. Rachel and I saw like these giant rockets and like the launch shuttle and all this sort of thing. And I was like, you know, this is a bit cool. So I wrote to NASA and I wrote to a space agency thing in the UK. And I was like, you know, I don't know quite how this will work yet, but I'd love to organize some sort of improv show to be in space. And I said to them, I said, now this could just be that, you know, your guys already on the space station just film something and like do like a shout out. It could be that simple. Or it could be if like you can do like a satellite connection over Skype, I said to them. And one of them completely ignored it. But then the other one, because it was for some sort of funding that I'd written to, and I just found it through, I think this was the British one, through their website. They wrote back and they said like, oh, you missed the deadline to apply for this, but you know, you should certainly apply again. And I was like, really? But until you said this story, Sam, I'd completely forgotten it. But this was about 8 months ago.
Oh, it's amazing. That would be so cool.
I don't think they took it serious, but I think they just found it amusing. It's like when you just get like one of these things phone you up and they want to like say, you know, hello, you know, is your Windows computer not working or something like this?
Yeah.
Phone calls like that often I'll just keep them on the line. They'll phone me up and I'll just keep talking. So, you know.
I think it's quite strange the fact that I'm coming up with these ideas, not taking them seriously, and companies are taking me seriously. You've come up with a genuine idea and someone didn't take it seriously at all.
Yeah.
You know what you should do next? No, go on.
I was just going to say, I have had a slightly more recent interaction with the company that
Oh yeah.
I haven't finished up yet. I don't know if I'm going to carry on with it, but basically I was trying to get in touch with Crocs because I've come up with some new products.
Crocs.
So I came up with Croc tops. So
Oh, have they got holes in?
Yeah, so it's like a crop top, but it's got holes in it, like you would have with ripped jeans, that sort of style.
So your nipples are out, basically.
That wasn't the idea, but if that's how it works out, then that's how it works out. You know, some people are into that.
Where do the holes fall? They'll fall differently on different people.
Well, yeah, exactly. You know, if that's how it works, I'd recommend the bra underneath, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. You know, that's your choice.
Exactly. Free country. Anyway, sorry, carry on. I'm loving these products.
I came up with Croc socks. So they're like regular socks.
I've got those.
Yeah, but I was thinking, like, you know, David, you'll understand this, and Ellie, I'm sure you will as well. Actually, you know, like before Christmas, every man, especially, has socks with loads of holes in them, and then they get replaced with the new socks that your mum buys you for Christmas.
Absolutely.
They would just look like that, but all year round. And then,
you know, one year at Christmas, just a slight segue there. 1 year at Christmas, I was given 36 pairs of socks.
What?
By the end of present giving, I was just like, what the hell is this?
What did they say about you as a person to buy for? They're like, oh God, David's so bland to buy for. Let's just buy him
so
socks.
you know what the thing is though, I've always been so easy to buy for, and I think what it was is that like my family would just buy me socks and like put some to the side, and then like some got lost, and then they were all found out, and as they were found out, just they were all wrapped up without thinking about it. And so like my sister had also given me socks, which added to it, but she may have given me fun ones with like the Avengers or the Simpsons on, and that might have been like 4 pairs of socks. But then there was just like a big bundle of like black socks where it's like 12 pairs or something, and then some other individual pairs, and then like another one, it's like, oh, is it more socks? Oh, it is. And yeah, you end up with lots and lots and lots.
You're quite easy to buy for because you wear loads of like funky stuff. I feel like
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to, in a sense. Like, it's something over the last couple of years, 3 years, 4 years. I've tried to, embrace perhaps like my geeky interests a little bit more. Sam, you may be interested in this. This is a wrestling shirt of The Undertaker.
Old school Undertaker as well.
Yeah, this is like from 1992, this shirt. It's like, I've had it for a long time.
Here I was born. Woohoo!
Wow.
That's as much I've got to that.
Yeah, don't worry. But also, just like it is a thing where I will, like when we do our shows, I'll like put like another shirt on the outside, and I'll try to have interesting looking ones, just because it's always been my philosophy that, you know, it's a hard sell to sell people like an improv show, and it's like kind of, people know what it is, but it's kind of niche, and when you try and explain it to people, it's just people dressed in street clothes on a blank stage, and it's like, well, if we can make ourselves, you know, a bit more memorable. I remember Angus always used to wear purple shoes, and I don't think anyone else noticed it.
No.
Yeah, he always wore purple shoes for like the first year of the shows at least. It's like, oh, these are my improv shoes. And he doesn't always do it, but like Adam will always turn up, Adam Hughes, wearing like a waistcoat and stuff like that. And I was like, things that actually give us a bit of an individual look or personality. I was into that as an idea.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what I would do, but yeah, I'm down for that.
I don't know. You're always the one with the glasses, I guess. Or...
Yeah. I make.
Does anyone else wear glasses?
Aston.
Yeah, Aston wears glasses.
Yeah. I try not to wear my glasses when I'm performing though, because I don't, as a performer, promote myself in glasses because my head. Yeah.
Your headshot doesn't have glasses, does it?
No, although I am going to get one after all this that does have it, because it gives me more of a different look, I guess. With the nose ring and stuff, I look cooler than like normal. But anyway, that's boring chat.
No, it wasn't.
My thing seems to be falling off the stage, so I'm not sure you can sort of encapsulate that in a t-shirt or a hat or anything like that, can you?
Yeah. I don't know, Sam. But you've also got the gimmick of "Oh George."
Not one that I invented.
You've got a catchphrase that you never say yourself, so
exactly, yeah.
Right.
I've also noticed that in recent times on the streamed show that we've been doing, I've often made it to the Extremed show. I've made it to the final, and then I seem to get an impression of somebody that I don't know, and then I always just don't get any votes in the final.
But Sam, we both never know what comes up.
It's a very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Destined to fail.
It's an interesting thing, just because like often we'll lean into like pop culture references and stuff like that. And I think speaking to both of you in the last couple of months or whatever, you both like sort of said like, oh, we don't really know like movies and references of like this kind of nature. Like, do either of you have a favorite movie?
Mary Poppins.
Actually.
Really?
Yeah. That's my favorite film.
I didn't expect that.
No, I'll explain why. It's because when I was a kid, I used to watch it all the time. I would go and steal my dad's hat and I'd put it on the floor, and then I'd jump around on the sofas like I was Bert, and I'd pretend that the sofas were my chimneys. And so now whenever I watch it, it just reminds me of that time, and I really enjoyed that. So that's why that's my favourite film.
Wow. Did you like Mary Poppins Returns?
I never actually watched it. I was a bit too worried that it would disappoint.
That's quite good. We watched it the other night. It's not bad.
It's all right. It's very similar. They played it safe to be similar to the original.
See, my favourite film, I'm a bit rubbish because I have an attention span of a 2-year-old. So like I'll watch it once and I'll be like, yeah, that's a great film, but I don't ever watch it again unless I'm forced to watch it. So I would say my favourite film I forgot the name of while Sam was talking. That's how much. So I was literally like, I think about what it is. And I've only seen it once, and it was Whiplash.
Is that with, it's about the drummer, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen it. Is it any good?
Yeah. Wow, it's my favourite. I think it is, because I've only seen it once. But yeah, that's what I think it's. Have you seen it, Sam?
No.
I'm trying to remember the name of the actor in it. He's the guy that was in like the old Spider-Man films. But it's gonna.
Which one?
He played like the Spider-Man's reporter boss, like J. Jonah Jameson was the name of the character. But I can't remember the name of the actor who plays him, which is annoying because it will come.
I liked Marriage Story. That was recent.
I don't know that film either.
Very good. That was very, very good. Tiger King's not a film, but if it was, that would be my favorite.
Yeah, I watched that recently.
You finally watched it.
Finally watched it. So now I get the references.
The Carol Baskin.
Yeah, that's very. Do you know what? Like when I watched the first episode, though, I misunderstood something where they said about and he wanted to kill Carol Baskin. I thought they were saying later on she gets killed. So the entire time I was waiting. When does she die?
I did the same thing because they also cut back to him like he's in prison and all this sort of stuff, and like I want to get. So the whole time you're like, he's gonna kill her, and then it doesn't happen. So it is a bit weird.
Spoilers.
Have you not seen it?
No, I have, but for anyone listening.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, we just said what does or maybe doesn't happen.
Yeah.
In fairness, there's a lot of other things that happen around that.
Oh, you can't write what happens in that thing.
Not at all.
Yeah.
But David, I've just looked up who you might have been talking about in a Whiplash film. Was it J.K. Simmons?
That's it, J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
He was in it. Hang on, I'll get your picture. Hang on.
The interesting trivia. Yeah, that's J.K. Simmons.
Oh, yeah.
We are now seeing a picture of J.K. Simmons, who played J. Jonah Jameson in the Spider-Man films, but also played Commissioner Gordon in Justice League. So there's a bit of trivia for you there.
He's a good one.
He's a good actor. He's a really good actor.
Yeah.
So I watched Inglourious Bastards last night for the first time.
That's a great film.
Oh, stop it! I tried to get forced to watch it on Friday night, and I didn't want to watch it, so I could be joining in this chat, but I didn't want to watch it.
So you missed it.
I know. I'm being sworn at from across the room.
What's so good about it is it's a Tarantino film, isn't it, Sam?
Yeah, it is.
And I think he's done this on his most recent film as well, but I've not seen it. Hollywood, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Or something
that's really. I've seen that.
I've not seen that, but I think this is a similar idea in that he takes like actual world events and he kind of makes like an alternative history version out of some of the stuff that's happened. But that's a hell of a good film.
Very good film.
I'm gonna watch it. I remember I wrote in this
character. Oh my God, he was
Yeah.
amazing. Like sadistic but arrogant, and then he gets his comeuppance at the end. It's
Or
Don't tell
maybe
me.
he doesn't. That might be a spoiler, Sam.
Sam.
Sam. Oh,
right, it came out in 2009. If you've not seen it already, that's your own fault.
yeah. But this being said, last night I watched a Bill Murray film called Stripes, from about 1982 or something. It like predated Ghostbusters, and I'd never seen it before. And sometimes I like discovering old films that I should have watched years ago, but never seen.
Like
Stripes, or okay. Another one. There's a bunch. Like I'd never seen the film The Silence of the Lambs until maybe about 6 or 7 years ago, and now it's one of my favourite films.
That's
and
a good film.
That's a really good film. And there's a Dustin Hoffman film which I don't rate it really highly, but it's called Kramer versus Kramer, and it's like a drama. But I only saw it for the first time ever within the last year, and when I watched it, I was like, it is this weird thing where it's like there's a brand new film, but it's not just, it stars Dustin Hoffman or Stripes. It's a new film starring Bill Murray. It's starring 1970s Dustin Hoffman. So it's as if there's like two versions of him. So he's an old man now, but it's starring like floppy haired 1970s Dustin Hoffman. And Stripes last night, it's like starring like fresh from Ghostbusters 1. Here's Bill Murray again, exactly the same performance style and age that he was then. And because I'd never seen it before, to me it's like a brand new film. Time travel.
I do love Train Spotting. That's like
about the film.
Yeah, I mean, there's not been much Train Spotting at the moment, sadly, with all the networks reducing their trains. No, the film, yeah.
I've never seen it.
What?
Yes, it's
Sam.
No.
Wow.
There's an embarrassing amount of films that I've not seen.
Yeah, well, I thought I was bad.
Yeah, I'm terrible.
Sam, have you seen Casablanca yet?
No, I really need to. That should be top of my list. I might watch it after this.
You know what? I think it's like a 3-hour film. Just look on YouTube. What I did is I watched something which was like the most famous quotes from it. And it's like, okay, now I get it. Because you can get the gist of it just from like 5 minutes.
Nah, I'm not going to half-ass this. I'm going to do it. So when it comes up for about the 19th time in one of our shows, I'm going to actually know what we're talking about this time.
Yeah.
I've never had it come up. That must be...
It's only for me and David. No one else gets it. And all I know is there's something to do with the piano.
Yeah.
Because we've established I can't play.
Play as time goes by. So, like, the interesting thing is that it's not just us, though. Because we've had it 3 times. But in the middle of it, just after we'd done the show in Tame in 2019, so last year, like, that was in May. And also in May, myself and Rachel were performing at the Brighton Fringe, and it came up. And I don't think Rachel had any idea of it. She may later correct me, but it was like, oh no, Casablanca's come up again. And then it came up for us again, and then it came up on the podcast, and maybe it's come up on a stream. It just comes up over and over again as like one of the most famous films. But yeah, never watched it.
It came up in a documentary that I watched recently.
Oh,
that was Don't Fuck with Cats.
Oh, that's so good.
Is that on Netflix?
Yeah. Oh my God, that's mind blowing as well.
It is sickening.
Oh dear.
Yeah, don't watch
Incredible.
that with a dodgy tummy. You need a strong head on that day.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to give this one.
And some alcohol in hand. Yeah, Netflix are churning out the old drama suspense shockers at the moment.
Yeah, well, it's not that recent, but a cool show on there. I think, what was it called? Evil Genius. Did you ever see that?
Yeah, I watched that recently.
Yeah, where a guy's got like a bomb around his neck or something like that. And when like the second episode, I was like, I don't understand how this connects to the first one. And then when it suddenly does, it's like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
What about, is it called Abducted in Plain Sight or on Netflix?
Oh, I've heard about that one. Yeah, I've not seen it, but I've heard about it, and it's another one that is absolutely sickening.
So that was the first one that was like started Netflix doing the whole like shocker documentary series. That was the first one, and I think it came out in like 2018, and it's the first time that I've ever sat there and just gone, what the fuck? And like audibly, like to my housemate, like, did they just say that? Like, honestly, I really want to.
What was this show called?
Abducted in Plain Sight.
Wow.
I really want to say what it's about, but
yeah, we can.
I think a lot of it's given away in the title.
Yeah. Exactly.
You both haven't watched it, so
no.
True. I'll add that to my list as well.
Yeah, oh my god, watch it, because there's a certain bit in there that's an absolute stonker. It's like nothing you've ever seen on TV.
Yeah, it's interesting though. There's like sometimes if I'm in the right mood, I really do like these true crime like documentaries where they're solving stuff like this. But at times it can really creep me out as well. So it's just being able to balance it.
I've been watching these documentaries that are sickening, like just before bed. And the thing is, I'm in a house on my own at the moment, so I like turn the TV off and it's just silence.
Yeah.
And then I'm turning all the lights off as I go upstairs, and so it's just getting darker and darker and darker.
Oh.
And then I go to bed, and literally like any little creak, I'm sort of like, oh my god, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
The thing is, you know what gets me through is remembering that it's in America and how messed up the US is with all this stuff. Like,
does help.
Right, it's not here. Like, almost re-watching all the OG Louis Theroux, like all the way from the beginning, which is quite an adventure. But it's just like, all of this is in America. That's insane.
Yeah. Oh, you get lots of weird stuff in England, though.
True, but it's not documented like it is on this. I feel like we look a bit safer because it's documented over there. When you got Donald Trump telling everyone to drink bleach, and people are doing it.
Inject it.
Oh yeah, but people are doing it. That's the worrying thing.
Yeah.
There was wasn't it Joe Biden or someone like that has put up on Twitter, I can't believe I have to say this, but please don't drink bleach.
Yeah. Yeah, because I saw a post this morning from a nurse in the US saying, I can't believe I just had to treat a guy who drank 3/4 water mixed with 1/4 of bleach.
Wow.
Ricky Gervais actually made a tweet about this. Like when Trump was originally like a candidate to become president, he put up a tweet that said, the fact that we need a warning label saying do not drink on bleach shows us that Trump can become president. And it's now just come all the way full circle.
That's amazing.
I just hope this means he won't get in again. I hope this like tomfoolery that he's showing himself as is going to mean that people won't vote for him again.
Of course they will. They're Americans.
Yeah. So Ronald Reagan was the president. Well, do you know what? Lots of the presidents seem like kind of dodgy. Well, almost all of them seem dodgy. I think even though he's got people that are like detractors, I think Obama was the one that got through where people still can say, oh, he's got his respect and everything.
Yeah.
But before that, it was George W. Bush, and you had all of the Bushisms and the quotes and everything from him. And Bill Clinton obviously has got his whole dodgy relationships and stuff like that. So I think every president is going to be some
but
sort of weird.
Trump surely.
The thing with Trump, though, in terms of us doing comedy and doing improv, is like, you know,
it's gold.
Brilliant for it. It's gold.
Yeah.
You know?
Then at the same time, in a lot of ways, you can't be funnier than him because he's actually doing it deadly seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can't have the impact that he has.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
He's
great.
No, go ahead.
If I told somebody to drink bleach, they'd say, stay away from me, you psycho. Whereas Trump says it, people bloody do it. What the hell?
Yeah, I know.
You're not the president, though, are you, Sam?
I feel like I'm more intelligent than the president.
I mean, it's not hard.
There we go. You know, on the wrestling podcast, David, you've called out Goldberg for a wrestling match.
Yeah.
I'm calling out Donald Trump for an IQ test right now.
Screw that. Call him out for a wrestling match, Sam.
That's a fair point. He's been involved in the WWE before. Why not jump back in?
Yeah.
That's horrendous. How did we even get to this point?
I don't know. I think we were somewhat like down the route of we're talking about crimes and
yeah. We originally on Sam's
conspiracy theories, isn't it?
Sam's lying CV. That's where we started. We're still on the belly dancing job.
Oh yeah. So I had some more professional experience that I put. So I put the performing stuff, and then I put proper job experience.
Oh great.
He started off as a street cleaner for the council, and then
Mm-hmm.
he went to being a barman in TGI Fridays,
Oh yeah.
and
Respectful.
then he was a restroom salesman at Stringfellows, and then he was the only reason I put that as well was just because at the time, I think the night before I'd gone out, and there was one of those guys in the toilets that shouts out stuff like "No Armani, no Punani," you know, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
And I just thought, let's make Jacob one of those guys, shall we?
Oh,
No
dear.
Dolce and Gabbana, no sucky your banana. You know, that sort of thing.
Oh my god! I don't think I've ever come across someone like that, Sam.
No?
No links, no little links.
Yeah, exactly.
I made that one up. I'm proud of that.
But so I think I'd seen one of those recently, so I put that in there. And then from that job, he went into being working for Her Majesty's Secret Service in an undisclosed job role.
Amazing.
So I put that in there. And then she asked for like some recent pictures of me. So I sent a couple of pictures of Liam Gallagher's son.
What does he look like?
Like a young Liam Gallagher, I suppose.
Yeah, well, fair.
And then I also put in an extra selfie just for kicks, which was it was supposed to be him pulling a duck face selfie, you know, the
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
sort of thing. But it was actually just a duck from really, really close up. And then for no reason whatsoever, I just put in a picture of Mickey Mouse looking really angry. Never mentioned it. Just popped
You
it
know
in
what,
there.
Sam? This reminds me of a couple of things. There was something which anything on the internet may later turn out just to be a publicity stunt or not true for some reason or other. But it reminds me of a story where someone had applied for a job and they accidentally attached a photo of Nicolas Cage pulling like a strange face. It's like this. Do it, and that became like a viral story. But this actually brought back a couple of memories from my younger days. Like, so again, going back pre-internet, you'd get things where it'd be sent through in the post, and it'd be, will you fill out this survey, and you'd like tick boxes, and you'd do this, and you'd send it back. I always used to fill those out just for like the amusement of it, and I'd make up names, and it'd always be I forget what the names might have been. It was things like Bart Simpson would say on the phone to Moses
Like
huge ass and IP freely and stuff like this. And the address would be like 999 Lois Lane and so on and so forth. But one time there was like an envelope you could put stuff to. Oh, actually, no, there's quite a rude one, which I don't know if I want to admit saying.
Yeah.
You started it now.
Yeah. Give the people what they want, David.
Okay, so there was one, and this came from another member of my family. I'm not going to take the full responsibility for this, and I was a child at the time. But we just smeared it with chocolate, and so when they'd open it, it just wrote on it, "This has been up my arse." and we thought that was hilarious when I was like 12 or something.
Oh, that is brilliant.
But another time, we just actually sent them a Jaffa cake back in the envelope. So different company, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So keep doing this, Sam. I love the idea. You can keep just.
Have you got any things to? Any
No,
stories to tell of this sort of nature?
Well, no, I just had a type. It's not really as amazing, but I wrote a really long job application and an email to someone, and I signed it as Ellie Gill, and I had to do that really awkward follow up and be like, and explain to them that wasn't I was in fact Ellie Gill, but they didn't speak to me after that, which I thought was really strange because it was obviously they were really keen on me, and then I made a stupid typo, and then that name stuck with me for my friends for it's still stuck.
Oh. Yeah, there was one time where I think someone sent me something on like back in the day when Mandy Network was Casting Call Pro.
Oh yes.
Send me a rejection letter, and it was like, probably they meant send me a rejection letter, but it was to do a job, and it was like, "Hi Daniel, can you do this such and such and such and such?" And I was like, oh, God, they've said Daniel, but I've been offered the job. I went and did the job, and it turned out that they weren't offering it to me, but it was a job where they could have like a certain number of people because it was like an events job. So I did the job, and my God, did I have to fight them to pay me in the end?
Oh my God, really?
Well, yeah, to fairness to them, they hadn't actually wanted me. But I had the information. I turned up and did it.
But you could have just thought that they confused your name or something. That happened, right?
Yeah, but yeah, wow. I think I'm trying to think what that was. I think it was for like Wimbledon Theatre or something like this. Whichever, maybe it's not Wimbledon, but wherever, like there's an ATG Theatre and they'd got like an event leading up to like their Peter Pan pantomime one Christmas, and this was where they would like trying to get drum up interest to it in the autumn, and so they needed people to come and be pirates for a day. So it didn't be
a great pirate.
I would have been
you were a great pirate.
Well, I was a great pirate. The other funny anecdote from this though was that because I wasn't obviously supposed to get this email, I didn't get like the follow-up email where they said about if you can provide your own costume. So I turned up, I had no costume. And so because there was about 4 or 5 other guys doing it, one of them lent me, I think, like an eye patch. But then I found, because we were in the the green room, which was basically like the back of the theatre somewhere, I found like a black sack, which I turned into a bandana. I found I made some sort. I took like off my belt and put it around me, like it was like a bit like a sash, but like I could hook a tiny sword thing into it, which I think someone else lent me. And somehow I was able to pass as a pirate for this day, just with a couple of lent bits of costume and a black sack.
And the big question is, was Daniel there?
I can't remember for the life of me now. Like, I wish I could remember this story, because there was one of the weirdest people. Like the whole day, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, this particular guy that was performing was like so weird. He would like get into your personal space and never blinked. He was always like staring, as really interested in you, sort of thing." Nervous. Yeah, you do get some weird guys. Like just in the acting profession, you come across very strange people. I'm sure like both of you have met some strange people over the time, and I don't know if I remember this story enough, but there was a guy, and I'm going to give a shout out to him just because I would love, even if it's with a negative story, and I say this with love, but even if it's with a negative story, I'd love to somehow track down and find this guy. But I went to an audition before I got into drama school, and it might have either been Rose Bruford or East.
Before you went to this drama school?
Before I went to Drama Studio London, yeah. But there was a guy who was auditioning, and his name was Marmaduke. And that name's like burned into my memory, but he didn't understand anything. I don't think English was his first language. And he just was like absolutely clueless. So that when like the teacher, the lecturer who was going to get us just to play like Splat or Zip Zap Boing or something like this, we couldn't even get through like the practice round, just because every single time Marmaduke wouldn't have understood and he was breaking the rules of the game. And so someone else was like, and it wasn't, I forget what the game was. It may have been the game Samurai, in fact.
No, you can't go wrong in Samurai.
Well, I think that's a more challenging game with the whole wah, and where you're like doing it. And he'd just stand there and the whole thing would break. And they weren't doing it elimination style. They were just so that everyone keeps warming up sort of thing. And it would always the game would come crashing to a halt. And so someone else was going to step forward and like do something. And then suddenly it was just like, wah, and hit the guy in the stomach. It was brilliant. No idea what was going on. Yeah.
Wow. I've got another disaster story from a self-tape audition that I had to do once.
Love it. Go for it.
So it was I'd never done pantomime before, and I was applying for this like TIE touring pantomime. And they asked me to send in a self-tape of like a couple of scenes that they'd sent me, as well as I think the song and something else. So I did while I was doing the scene. Obviously, with self-tapes, you end up messing up a few times while you're doing it, and so you have to go back and start again. And what I was doing was basically I just had the camera recording, and then I figured the ones that I get wrong, I'll just edit those out, and it'll only be the good one. So I was kind of like, "Hello, my name's Sam. I'm 24 years old. I'm from Kent, and I live in Weymouth. And oh, that's no bloody good, is it? What's the point of me doing that?" And then I'd start again. And I'd be like, right, okay. And then I'd start saying the words, and I'd be like, "Hello there, my name's Dame Chunky." Oh no, she's Dame Chubby. What bloody idiot? What am I doing? I'd start again. And I should clarify at this point, Ellie, you saw this in the last week. While I'm doing self-tapes, I do get quite angry when I get them wrong repeatedly.
Yeah.
To the point, I sent Ellie like a full minute of just my outtakes of me just going like.
You've seen my outtakes though, right? Mine are pretty similar.
You should share these.
Yeah,
I
have.
Oh, I need to see these.
I only sent mine to Ellie. I'll send it to you after this. That's cool.
No, like you just share them. I think this could be like a new thing that people get trending of, just like their self-tape outtakes. God, that was a bit more of a tongue twister than it should have been.
But yeah, so I'm doing this one, and I'm getting it wrong. I'm swearing quite a lot. I'm sort of getting quite irritated. Eventually, I got it all right, and then I saved the video, edited out the first bit, and then I sent it off to them. And I said, this is the first self-tape I've ever sent. So if you have any feedback, please feel free to tell me, so then I can improve the future self-tapes. And they were really nice. They sent me an email back going, we'd like to offer you a audition in person. So they gave me all the details. And they put, as for the self-tape, if I were you, I would edit out the first bit where you made all of the mistakes and started swearing. And I was like, what? And I checked the email, and it turns out what I'd done is I'd edited it out and then not saved it and just sent it to them.
Wow.
And so for a pantomime where I was going around schools, they just saw me going, "Ah, oh, bollocks!" and then offered me an audition anyway.
That's good. That's promising. I've got one. So I went to an audition, and it was I had to go in, I had to see a panel of people, and I had to do 2 monologues, 2 minutes each, contrasting, one tragedy, one comedy, just different. So I had 2 very different monologues. I went in, it was like, just do one after the other, that's fine. So I did one, I waited a second, did the other, and I was like, thank you. And he went, okay, now your second one, please.
Great.
And what do you do at that point? I was like, I've done them both. And then the guy was just like, and then he looked, because there was like other people there, and they looked at him and they were like, yeah, I think she has. And he was like, right, okay, well that's it then. And obviously I didn't get. I was like, one was about like guffawing at parties and like being this loud, irritating person. The other one was about losing a mum to death. So I was like, how on earth could they have been the same? But I was like, wow, I've never walked out feeling less of a good actor than I did at that point.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, that's pretty bad. Like, I hate it when because you just probably get the sense that he wasn't paying attention.
No, he wasn't.
He was doing it all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like when I was at Drama Studio London. I'll share a story. I always try to be good about Drama Studio London, because inevitably with anything you do, you'll have good stories and bad stories.
Yeah.
But the bad stories are more fun. So it sometimes comes across that it will be that I'm like sharing more negative stories when it comes to DSL. But
I want to know who the people are.
I don't mind saying who this one is. Okay. I couldn't tell you his name specifically. When we had crits for the restoration comedy we did, so anyone listening who doesn't understand what it is, it'd be critiques from an industry professional. Come in, watch the show, and then give everyone feedback. It was a guy who had played the Master in Doctor Who, and this was all I knew him for, because like you look him up and it wasn't that they were advertising the Master from Doctor Who is here, which is like this main villain, but it was like the thing which I knew that he would have been. But when you look up how he'd played it, he'd been like heavily under prosthetics, and he'd only been like an interim Master before they brought in like a main actor to take over. And when he started giving me the feedback, I was listening to it, and everything he said, I just said, that was because, as you know, Ellie, when you do restoration comedy or a lot of plays at drama school, especially at DSL, is you might share the role with someone else. And all of the feedback he had given me was about the other actor that had played my part. I was like, no, that was Kenneth. That wasn't me.
Did you say it?
Yeah, I said that wasn't me. And he was like, oh, well. And he looked through his book and he had nothing for me then. Nothing.
Wow.
And I was just like, oh, okay, so that's my crits for this time.
Who directed you?
Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember. This got quite a few years ago. So restoration comedy, I don't know that I can remember off the top of my head. I can work out some people there it isn't, but I can't think who it would have been. I think it was a guest director for this.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I have another one that was more recent, actually just before lockdown, which is quite funny. But I I've like recently got into modelling, and so I was kind of new, but it's exciting and fun. Anyway, I have like quite a few different agents or like people that offer to try and look for work for me. It's like, it works quite differently to acting in the sense that it's more like a community thing and sort of like anything goes, and you don't have to have like one agent unless you're with like the big guns. It's all very free for all kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I got this random email from this company saying, can you go to this casting, please? And I said, and they said, when can you do? And I was like, well, this is a weird question. Why ask me when can I do? Like, okay, fine. So we went back going, how about Tuesday? And they're like, yeah. And they didn't hear anything for like days. And then on Tuesday morning, they were like, can you turn up at 3 o'clock? And I was like, whoa, okay, yeah, okay, I'll go at 3. And I emailed back going, great. And I'd already previously, in one of my emails where I said I can do Tuesday, I'd gone, can I ask what this is in reference to? And then when they emailed back saying, can you do 3 o'clock? They didn't mention what it was in reference to. So I replied again, going, yeah, 3 o'clock's fine. Can I just check I don't need to bring anything? Because I'm not sure which job this is in reference. Like, I tried to make it look like I wasn't blaming them, that I obviously knew what I was doing. I didn't get a response. I just got sent the address. So I was like, right, okay. So I spent ages Googling this address, like telling a few people where I was in case I got like, didn't turn, like, I was going to get murdered or something.
Yeah, certainly.
So I turned up and it was in this like warehousey type fashion building. Anyway, I got in, I opened the door, I was like, oh, phew, there's loads of people here, they're definitely working. It's definitely a fashion brand. It's okay. And so I'm like, I'll just take a seat there. So I take a seat in the middle of the office, like slap bang in the middle, like with everyone working around me. And I'm just sort of sat there. And then all I hear is and they were like, oh, you're waiting for Mary, or I can't remember what her name was. And there was just a little like partition wall separating the office from the meeting room. So I could hear this conversation, and there was a talking going on. She was going, yes, well, obviously, I've done this morning, and I've done Lorraine. And she was going, oh, yeah, you should definitely get us in contact with them. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So they're obviously seeing quite a few people and having a proper conversation. I was like, wow, cool. And then she'd given her like a goodie bag at the end. And I was like, oh, I wonder what this is. So anyway, I hear her going, oh, I'll be in touch with you about the job. And I'm like, wow, this is very formal. So I said, okay, this is really strange because she hasn't tried on any clothes or anything. What is it? So I'm sitting here going, I'm texting my friend going, this is really strange because I still don't know what I'm here for. Like, do I walk in and go, hi, I've not been told what I'm here for, but I'm here? Or do I just go with it? So I decided to just go with whatever she threw at me. And so I sat down, she went, oh, lovely. She shook my hand. She was like, lovely to meet you. Take a seat. She was like, so have you got your CV? And I was like, because you don't have a CV in modelling. I was like, no. And she was like, oh, that's fine. It's probably on the printer. And I was like, oh, yes, probably on the printer. Yes. And she's like, and I'm there like, what? And she goes out. And she's gone for a long time, and then she comes back and she was like, "Oh, you're not here for an executive assistant job? I nearly went for it. I honestly nearly went for it." And then, right, so I was like, "No, I'm here. I'm here to you called out for a model, like." And she went, "Oh right, oh gosh, yeah, really sorry. Okay, stand up for me." And so I stood up, and she was like, "We're not even looking for your size."
Oh my god.
I know. I was like, but she still got me to try on all the clothes.
That so obviously wouldn't fit you.
Yeah, they were huge. Like, honestly, I put them on and I was literally like this. I was like, she was like, yeah, that doesn't fit. And I was like, well, no shit, Sherlock. I think we realised that before.
Do you know what? She was probably trying to just make it feel like you hadn't wasted your time.
I suppose so, but oh my god.
I had a similar thing from the other side of that. About 3 or 4 years ago, I was doing like a site-specific play where I was writing it and directing it.
Is that the one in blah blah blah? Wait.
Yeah. I won't mention the place, but yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So in this place, and the organisation I was working for, they would provide the rehearsal space and with it the audition space. So I got like auditions set up to happen on a Monday evening, like a Thursday evening, and then like a Sunday afternoon. So if people couldn't do evenings, or if someone needed a weekend, it'd give people lots of opportunities. And this was the Sunday afternoon, and the caretaker didn't unlock the building. So I was outside the building, and it's like a little bit off to one side, but it's just houses around this place of business as well. And I was like, oh my God, I can't get into the building. People started turning up for the audition. And in the panic, I was like, well, I'm just waiting for someone to turn up, so we'll leave it a few minutes. When it was apparent it wasn't going to happen, and I'd got like 4 or 5 people turn up for the first hour slot, I was like, well, we can just audition you here, sort of thing. And so I did the audition outside, and I was just like, this is utter death. I was leaving voicemails for people, and I was like, yeah, okay. So people have turned up now, but very quickly I'm sending messages, emails to the next hour slot and the next hour slot. Can't get into the space, so if you can make a different day, that would be a lot better. Some people were already turning up for the second hour slot, but so some of them would say, okay, I can come on Monday or Thursday or whatever it was. But then there was one guy who was coming for like the last slot of the day, and he was coming from Monmouth in Wales, and I was like, why are you coming from Wales for this? And yeah, and so I phoned this guy. I was like, and I didn't know, just because with the place where I was doing the audition, because it was outside London, you're kind of desperate to get anyone to audition that you can, because people won't necessarily audition. When I auditioned for something that was local to me about 5 years before this, it was the nearest audition to where I'd lived that had ever come up. And I just simply forgot it, and I was an hour late because they ended up phoning me up, and they gave me 3 roles in this production. That it was because they were just like, "What, you're a professional actor coming for this sort of thing?" And so they, it's hard to get people to come and audition in this particular location. So this guy, I didn't know where Monmouth was. I'd never heard of it. I'm not good at geography. He'd come from Wales for it. So I was like, and now because it was getting dark, because it was September and it was like 5-6 o'clock or whatever, I was like, okay, so you just meet me at this pub sort of thing. And so he met me at this pub, and I was like, yeah, sorry, I couldn't, there's a problem at the venue. And so we did the audition there, and I was like, I've got to give this guy as much time as possible, because he's spent like 4 hours traveling to do this audition.
Ouch!
And I was like, you do realize that this is local and it's very low budget. So, and he's like, oh no, I've got like a friend that lives in the area and I could visit them. And in my head, I was like, there is no way, even if you were like Ian McKellen, I can't give you this role, And so I tried to give him as much time as possible, but it ended just really awkwardly. So I was like, all right then, we'll be left. And I sort of did it wrong. Whereas I didn't want to promise that I was going to contact him, but I was sort of said because I didn't want to be like a bastard and not contact. But I didn't also want to have it be awkward later. And I sort of said like, well, we'll be contacting the people who are successful or something like this. And it just made it really obvious that I was telling him that he wasn't successful. Because I just didn't handle it well. And so it was just like really awkward. And so then it was just the right, well, it's been lovely meeting you. I'm just going to pop to the toilet. So it was like the lame excuse of like, I'm just going to go somewhere where you can't follow me. You have left separately. But yeah, it can be awkward.
You never spoke again?
Definitely.
No. Go on, Sam.
I've had some fun ones happen in shows before, which they're always good stories, especially from uni, where we did a Midsummer Night's Dream. And so it was quite a quick turnaround from when we started the rehearsals. It got to the actual show days, and the guys doing like the final scene, they couldn't quite remember like whose line was where, because it was one of these ones where it wasn't just like I said something, then you said something, I said something, you said something. It was like 6 people all having the odd line here and there, so it was quite tricky for them. So they were all struggling with it, but they were getting through quite well. So then it comes to this final scene just before I'm playing Peter Quince, the leader of the Mechanicals, who comes and does this play within a play. And I'm about to do my bit and walk on and deliver this monologue. And one of the guys playing one of the court members, he just leant over to the guy who was in front of him, and he went, "May I be excused, my lord?" And then just walked out. So he walked out of the room. they finished that little bit of the scene, and in my head, I'm thinking to myself, well, they don't know their lines. I'm going to have to improvise in Shakespeare. Like, this is going to be impossible. So I'm in my head, I'm thinking, my brain's working double time. The guy who he whispered to, as the messenger guy was about to sit down, he went, no, go and find our friend Demetrius. He must see this as well. So then the other guy had to leave and go and find him. And basically what had happened was the first guy was feeling quite ill. And so he wanted to just quickly go outside, have a sip of water, go to the toilet, whatever, and then come back. So he said that after he'd gone, our tutor went out and tried to follow him and try and catch up to him. And then he saw him go into the toilet. He turned around and this other guy has walked out of the show as well. He turned around and go, what the fuck is happening? Everyone's leaving the show. And I'm sort of thinking, oh my God, like, I really don't know what's going to happen here. Luckily, they came back just before I did my monologue. But it was one of those times where I was thinking, oh my God. And then my brain started thinking again. Earlier on, there was a bit where two of them were lying down in front of me. And the girl looked up to me and she had this terrified look on her face and kept sort of like giving me the eyes, looking at me, looking at him, looking at me, looking at him. And I kind of didn't really think anything of it. I was just like, she's just acting. So I sat there, got to that bit. The reason she was looking at him was because he had gone really limp and was shaking.
Oh.
What?
And yeah, he was like just really ill. And basically what he said afterwards was he was sat there and the room essentially was in front of him. And then it just kind of all shifted upwards. And so the wall was basically where the ceiling was and the floor was right in front of him. It was really, really strange.
Wow.
So then he left and we had this whole big drama. And then we just carried on in the end, which was fine. But obviously he came back in and couldn't remember where his lines came in because his brain was all over the place.
Jesus. Do you know what? You get there's so many, like, just thinking about like anecdotes that you have happen on stage, and especially when you go back to something like uni and stuff. Some of the best stories I've got from drama school, from uni. The very first full-length play I ever did after the Nativity as a child was a play called The Virtuous Burglar, and I was playing the titular burglar in it. And the two people whose house I was going to be robbing, I was waiting in the wings so that I could make my entrance. Both of them just left the stage during, like, and this was GCSE level, but they left the stage during the showcase performance. And I looked on the stage and I couldn't see them, and I'm in the wings. I'm like, can't see where they've gone. And then I looked round the back and they're both there just looking through the script, trying to find where they are. And because I was meant to be robbing their house, I just ran onto the stage, improvised some stuff, like, oh, I think I can hear them coming again, sort of thing. Ran back into the wings, and I was like, get on the stage, like this, as loud and quiet at the same time as I could possibly be.
Yeah.
But I think my favourite thing is another DSL story, actually. This was, it was like a scene study, and for the life of me, I can't remember the name of the play I was doing now. But it was one of these very gritty plays, which was, there was a character who was arrested, and if they used it again at DSL, maybe it will have come up. A character was arrested, and it was because his brother was suspected of being a child abuser. So it was like very serious stuff. And I was playing, me and this other guy were playing these two like officials from the state who were going to be interrogating this guy. And it was his brother that did something. It wasn't him, but he's gone for like 72 hours without sleep. And we're just, no matter what he says, we're interrogating him. And the really shocking thing that we do is that we say about that he's like murdered some children, and we bring in this box, and in this box where this, like, it's so dark and twisted, but like, I think the idea was that like the fingers or toe, I think it was toes actually, toes of a child had been cut off, mutilated sort of thing.
Oh, wow.
And we had made out of putty some like little toes sort of thing, so that when like covered it in blood, so that when we had it, like, see what this is sort of thing, and put it in this guy's face. And it was like, we thought this was like a genius prop, and it was justified within the play. And just as I was doing it, the guy who's the the guy who was the like the person who's been arrested, his character is innocent, by the way. It's his brother, nothing to do with the character. But also the guy who played it was a Portuguese actor. His name's Diego, so shout out to Diego. He sat there. He hasn't shaved in days, just so that he could get into character. His hair's a bit unkempt as well, so he really was going meth and looked the part. And when I'm like, it's just not good enough, and I like slam my hand down on the table, and now my partner's going to take over talking, and I'm like, yeah, we're really, everyone's on the edge of their seat. The atmosphere in the room is amazing. And just suddenly I start to hear a little bit of laughter, and I sort of like turn around, and then I notice other people in the audience leaning to each other and pointing, and there's just like a Mexican wave of laughter starting over the audience. And I turn around to Diego, and he's sitting there looking disheveled, looking a broken man, and one of this child's toes is stuck in his beard.
Oh,
It bounced up when I'd hit the table, and it landed in his beard, and it was just stuck there. And the thing that came into my head instantly, I burst out laughing, but the thing that came into my head instantly was, just imagine if this was a real person who's been wrongfully arrested for 72 hours, and now he's got a dead child's toes. And I was laughing, and like every time I was trying to talk, my voice was going high and low and stuff like this. And we got the feedback wasn't too bad afterwards, but it'd been so good in rehearsal, and I was just gone after this.
I've got a semi DSL one in the fact that it was our grad show that we took on a run after at the Drayton Arms, and it was a farce. It was all really like hot and slick and absurd. And I was playing the creepy, funky mother. And there was, as fast as there was a lot of doors. There was like 2 doors either side, and we all had to make our entrances and exits through those doors. And it was like a big thing, get the doors right, you know. And my first entrance, my son, the guy playing my son, would go, "Mother," and I was about to storm in, and then you meet my character. Everyone understands who she is. So I have 4 or 5 outfit changes in an hour and a half play, so quite a lot. Yeah. He's doing his scene with the maid. I don't know why Siri thought that was for her, but she did. He's doing his scene with the maid before I come in, and I'm stood behind the door, ready to open it, getting into character, and he skips 3 pages. So, because basically after I exit, he also has a scene with the maid, and I don't know what happened in his brain, but he entirely missed saying mother, and skipped to after I'd left. And all I could hear was Sophia, who was playing the maid, going, "But are you sure there's nobody you need to see, sir?" And like, actually, that was too posh, because she was caught. She's like, "Are you sure there's no one, sir? Oh, it's quite lonely in here, isn't it, sir?" And he's going, "He is oblivious." And I'm going, "Oh, fuck." Because literally, 10 lines later is the entrance of the main character, who wasn't even dressed yet, because he thought he had like a good 10, 15 minutes. And I'm there backstage going, Matthias, the bell's about to ring, you're about to go on. And he's there like, Jesus Christ! Like literally. So I'm there like in this dress going, well, no one's going to say this, I might as well turn it, like just get into dress number 2. Like really sad. Like, so the next time I enter, they have no idea who this character is that's just falling on the stage. And he comes off, and I go, what happened? And he goes, what? And I didn't come on. And he went, oh shit! He had no recollection of it whatsoever. Like, I don't know what, but it was so funny, because I just gone from like outfit 1, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll just get into outfit 2 and do this weird thing that no one knows who I am, or I can't set myself up as a character now. So I remember the feedback from that night, because I think there was some viewers in going, very confusing older lady character that wasn't sure what her point was in the script. I was like, oh god damn it. But that was like, I've never shat myself more than being behind that door not knowing what to do. I was like, do I just go on? But then I could like ruin everything, because then he could freeze. It was just one of those moments where I had like no time to decide what to do.
Yeah.
And then time just went, and he had to move on. So the show was very short that night. Big off a good amount of time. The show report was like, oh, tonight's only 45 minutes. Compared to like an hour and 15.
Yeah, I was going to say, so how many pages had he skipped over? 3?
About 3.5.
Yeah, so about 4 or 5 minutes a page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, carry on.
No, I was just going to say, guys, should we begin to wrap this one? Because we can always do another one, again, because I feel like
we've got loads to talk about.
We've got loads of stories we could tell.
Yeah.
Stories of acting stuff, stories from Netflix, recommendations. There's loads of things that we can.
Yeah. We've delved into politics slightly as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we've dipped our toe in every man's hole. What was that?
Oh dear. So anyway, Sam, where can we find you? Well, anyway, my name is David Pustansky. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all this sort of stuff by looking up David Pustansky, which is spelled Pustansky. We have some other performers who are currently going through a laugh. See, later on, this will become another of these anecdotes of when we did this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to write a book called Stuff Ellie Says.
Yeah.
No links, no little minks.
Oh, dear.
I'll go next. So you can find me on Facebook, Sam George Performer, and you can also find me on Instagram and Twitter at Samuel O. George.
Oh,
George.
Okay. Ellie, where can we find you?
So you can find me on Twitter at Actress Ellie, or Instagram Ellie Gill Actress, or Facebook Ellie.Gill.
Okay, and of course, this has been the Extreme Improv podcast chat show edition with Ellie, Sam, and myself today. And it's one of many podcasts that Extreme Improv put out on the Extreme Improv podcast network, including the Extreme Improv Skill Show, the Extreme Improv Radio Rumble. I need to upload some more of those episodes, Sam. I just haven't done it for about 3 weeks, but I will do. And what else? And so Sam and I have also been doing the Super Geek Mania Pro Wrestling podcast. You can see some Adam Hughes and I this week also when we do the Mega Movie podcast. So we've been doing lots of podcasts. We speak about time travel in this one. So until next time, from Sam, Ellie, and myself, it is bye for now.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.